So today's the day. Like I said, as some of you know on my Instagram already, I am officially lifting the Vic. So I'll just kind of go through what I have here. So for rear shocks, I went with early 2000s F-150 two-wheel drive rear shocks. Front, I went with 2012 to 19. I think it's Nissan Titan or Armada front struts. Take the P71 springs off of, swap the top hats onto those struts so I can run these on the Crown Vic. And then in this box here, I've got 3.5-inch front lift springs for a Jeep JK. Those will be going in the rear of the car. So at the end of the day, it'll probably give me a 3 to 3.5-inch lift on that pile. So. Time you'll see that scrape on anything. All right, as usual, let's get this thing off the ground. I throw 4 jack stands on it just to get the whole thing off the ground so I can do the front and rear at the same time. So. All right, one side down, let's do the other side. Usually I'd use a impact to take these wheels off, but the baby's taking a nap right now and our bedroom window is literally right up there, so that's why I'm using the old school method of the crossbars here. So it's a little more work, but gotta keep the baby sleeping as long as possible. All right, got the wheels off. I think I'm gonna start out with the rear because it's easier. So I'm probably not gonna bore you guys with the whole installing the shocks and putting the new shocks on. I'll probably just show you guys how they fit because I do have a whole video of taking these shocks off and installing them and the whole front coilover setup. I will probably show you guys how I'm gonna prepare those to put them on the car, but probably won't go into much detail on how I'm installing them. I'll just kind of do little clips here and there throughout the process, but I won't bore you guys with that. So I think first of all, I'm gonna drop the bolts out of these 2 control arms. Still need to get this upper in. This was stuck, so I just didn't bother. I'm probably gonna end up just hacking these bolts off so I can get the upper control arm in there. But I'm gonna start off with dropping these bolts on the control arms and take the shock out on both sides, and the axles should drop down enough to get these big old boys in there.
Eternity later.
All right, boys, as you can see, it's already dark out. I dropped all the control arms, all the shocks, and I finally got the Jeep JK springs in. So when you do a lift or when you drop everything down, the whole axle will drop and kind of rotate. So you want to try eliminate that. And the easiest way to do that is just get some adjustable rear control arms, like the tubular ones you can adjust, and so you can center the axle back out. I'm probably just gonna rock these Metco ones for now, see how they do. Maybe later on I'll spend the time to center the axle again. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a big lift there, because once this compresses, it might compress like an inch or something, and then you got that whole wheel well to fill out, so it's gonna be pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm probably gonna call it a night there. It's already dark out and I hate working in the dark, so I'm gonna clean all this up and then get back to you guys tomorrow. All right, boys, so it's day 2. and I just finished up putting the rear springs in here and tightening up all the control arms here. So we got the control arms all tightened up, the Jeep springs in here, and I was gonna do this, but I got lazy again, so that'll be another day. Yeah, we got the Jeep springs in here. I just need to throw in the F-150 shocks, which I've got right here, and I can move on to the front. And one thing cool about this is once I throw these F-150 shocks, I can throw the rear wheels back on. Then I can show you guys how much higher the rear is compared to the front. And just real quick here, I do want to point out, I did have to use like a spacer in here, and I used a washer to fill up the rest of the gap there, because the ones I ordered did not come with a spacer kit or whatever. So if you do go this route, just make sure you have a nice spacer for both sides. Nice. All right, here goes nothing. So we got the tires here, we got all the control arms in, the F-150 shocks, the Jeep springs. Now all I have to do is throw the wheels on. Got all that tightened up. I just need to cut those zip ties out before I do anything. Like I said, these aren't the biggest tire I wanted, but picked them up for dirt cheap. All right, so I got the rear on the ground, but I don't think I'm gonna show you guys yet. You'll have to wait till the end of this video. For the front here, I got some spring compressors. Took the P71 spring off the front shock here, and then I'm transporting the P71 spring onto the Armada strut here. Then I'm gonna tighten that. Oh, then I'm swapping the Crown Vic top hats onto the Armada strut. So you want, from the P71 strut, you will want the spring and the top hat if you want to go with this setup. Otherwise, these will not work on the Crown Vic here. All right, so small little hiccup here. So the Armada struts I got, the spring will not fit on the base here. So I'm gonna be picking up some early gen Tacoma struts off Marketplace for 50 bucks. I think they're pretty much the same as the Tundra, because I know a couple guys running Tundra front struts on these. So, and then we're back in business. I basically have everything torn apart here. All I need to do is throw the front struts in and we are ready to go. But since it'll be dark by the time I finish this, I'll just go ahead and show you guys the rear here. You guys ready? So that gave me like a 6-inch lift from where I was before. But if you're lifting from a factory height, it'd probably be around 3 to 3.5. So I'm pretty happy with that. I do not like the size tire I got. I knew it was gonna be a little small, but these are like barely a 29-inch tire. I could easily fit like 33s under here, which will probably be the plan eventually. But yeah, I'm not used to this. And obviously I have my fenders cut already from before, so it would have probably been down to like right here if I didn't have them cut, so it'd be a little bit more tolerable. But that being said, I'm probably gonna throw these back on so it's not as bad to look at. I kind of give you guys a visual there, but it's still like a 6-inch 6-inch lift, because it used to be like right here, but now it's up here. Oh, and another thing, I gotta go through and take all these off because I'm not running those anymore, obviously. But that's pretty sweet in my opinion. Can't go wrong with more ground clearance. You know what, while we're waiting for the time to tick by, I'm gonna actually, so I gotta wait till 5 till like I gets off work, but while we're waiting for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and take all the body kit off for the skirt kits. Easy work. Tore the whole rocker trim piece off, the back side skirts. So much better. Now I need to take this diffuser off because it doesn't look that great now that I'm lifted. All right, so we're back in business. So I went and picked up some Tacoma, I think 94 to 06 or 90, something like that, like the early gen Tacoma. Look at that, the springs fit on here. So now I just need to compress them, throw the Crown Vic top hat on there. Then I can throw this whole assembly in here. Yeah, that's just after one night of rainfall. Sheesh. Yeah, then I can throw this whole assembly in there and I can get this side on the ground. All right, so I just want to say it's a complete pain in the you know what, but I just recommend disconnecting the upper control arm because it just gives you that much more room to work with. I was fighting it trying to get in there without doing it, but there's just not enough room. It is annoying having to get this off, but at the same time, it'll just be so much easier. But yeah, that's what the Tacoma strut looks like in there with the P71 spring and the Crown Vic top hat. So it should be pretty decent lift because this lower control arm is almost maxed. But obviously I need to jack it back up so I can get these two back together. Yeah, I'll update when I get this all back together. All right, so I haven't really recorded anything, but I finished up one side. And then I'm just gonna do a little time lapse of me swapping the top hat and P71 spring onto the Tacoma strut. So I'll get that started right now. All right, boys, officially have completed the lift. I know I don't really show a whole lot of how I did it, but I will put like a parts list in the comments or the description. Just kind of like put a parts list of everything I put on this car. There really wasn't any hiccups now that I think about it. It was just, you just had to fight it to get in there a little bit. But after everything was in there, it fits perfectly. So, since it's dark out, I'm gonna probably go to a gas station and give you guys a little reveal because I can't really show you guys right here. I definitely need a bigger tire. But yeah, I'm freaking pumped about this. Gonna be some off-road adventures and whatnot with this thing. So stay tuned for more videos and yeah, let me know what you guys think of the lift. Just realized I forgot to film an outro for you guys, so just to go over the parts I used 90, I think it's 94 or 96 to 04 Toyota Tacoma front struts with P71 springs and Crown Vic or Panther top hat on the Tacoma strut. Then for the rear, I've got Jeep JK front lift springs front 3.5-inch lift springs, and early 2000s F-150 two-wheel drive shocks. Now I will post links down below this video of everything I use, just so you guys don't have to go find it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Crown Vic. I fell in love with it all over again. I have so many ideas for an off-road build, so I'm pretty stoked about this. But the lift is just the beginning for this thing. Get rid of the wheels for some 17s with 33s, roof rack, light bar, you name it. I got so much crap I want to do to it now. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you like the content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.